Bro, giving you guys a real synopsis on his music, bro.
Yeah, like
that's jokes. Man, you're listening. Yeah, you're listening to Self, man. That and in lowercase, I go by lowercase. From Toronto, Scarborough, Malvern to be exact, to be specific.
big up.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Scarborough to the world, always. And just me and Self, man. We just we and a few of our friends, we formed together a long time ago. We made a little group called Wrong Crowd. And, for the most part, all of us are just like different creatives, and this is a creative conglomerate that try to just touch base on, different forms of art, and for me right now, music is mine and the music is Self's right now. And we're working on a new album and, putting out new singles and stuff like that for our upcoming album, Lower Self. And, we did a little performance earlier for a song called Can't Say and Celebrate that are both on the album, but Can't Say should be coming out November 15th, this Friday, coming up. And yeah, man, that's who we are.
Legit. No, I've seen y'all engage the space, the Toronto space, for a little bit now, for the past maybe like 2 years, I think. And like, it's really good rap. Just straight up. And it's nice to see that be focused on. I think from y'all specifically, but like you see that around.
Yeah.
But where did that come from? Like, where did the focus on really getting the rap right? Where did that come from? What artist? Is there maybe pressure? Like, where that's from, do you think?
You can go first.
Well, for me, just being in high school, I was big on poetry, and that led me to focus more on the words being said, not really the way they're said. And then, I stumbled upon Eminem and Earl Sweatshirt and those kind of artists, and that just led to me diving deeper into, well, now that I know the words I want to say, I want it to be portrayed in the right way so that it's well received. Because nowadays, everyone follows the certain trends. They love the catchy cadences, the energy in the vocals. But when you really take the time to pick something apart and I guess for me, giving it your patience, it stands out on its own.
I feel that.
Yeah.
I feel that. How about you?
Honestly, man, sheesh. I think that it starts with obviously you grow up, you listen to a bunch of music, and I feel like, a few things. I feel like my mom is a big caveat, like just pillar in terms of how I got to this point. I feel like my mom, growing up, she was huge on Lauryn Hill. She was huge on the Fugees. So, just hearing that a lot, and just growing up in just a big house of like my grandma owned with a bunch of my uncles and aunties, and everyone's playing all this different music. So it's a lot of Jamaican music, Beres Hammond, just so many legends. And then you got, my father's American, so every other year I was going out there, spending the whole summer out there. So then you're listening to, and he's from the South, in Memphis. So then I'm over there listening to, 8-Ball MJGs and this artist called Gangsta Black and, 3-6 Mafia and all their mixtapes before even Pop My Collar or any of those tracks came out, just all these 3-6 Mafia tracks. And hearing all these different sounds, but then I feel like once I got kind of got older, my mom put me on Jay-Z and the Black Album, and honestly, that's when I was like, this is different. Sonically, this is different. The lyrics is different. I resonate with them a lot, especially on that first song, just talking about, growing up, dealing with just a single mother, no father, and there's so many different things and so many different things you're touching on in that beat. I just got sucked in. So from there, just paying attention to more of his music, and then just randomly becoming a student, and then you start listening to so many different artists, the Kanyes and then for me, Lupe Fiasco is like one of the artists that kind of, and I know for Self as well, Lupe Fiasco is a huge inspo for us. So for I was listening to Jay-Z and I was like, man, like, cause when you start getting into hip hop, you start writing lyrics, you start rapping a little bit, but you ain't really, you know what I mean? So I think, I was trying to rap like Jay-Z, and I wasn't Jay-Z. I didn't live that life, you know what I mean? I think Lupe is one of those artists that kind of spoke in a perspective that was more human. And I was like, I want to do that more. And then Kid Cudi kind of was just like the artist for me that kind of was like, let's speak about, you know, being human, of course, but also your emotions, how you feel, what's going on in your head. And, you know, there's so many different people around the way of me getting into making music, putting me on so much legends like Helter Skelter and all these different groups and rap groups that are like heavily on lyrics. And it was just like, now it's just who I am, you know what I mean? Like I pride myself to be an MC. I pride myself to be a lyricist. I know he prides himself to be an MC and lyricist.
100%.
You know, so.
Just, sorry if I.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead.
It's crazy that you mentioned not being able, or like you're not Jay-Z, like in your cadence and stuff. Because ironically for me, that's how I came up. That's how I really got into rap, like on a deeper level, was I would like mimic my favorite artist and.
That's a fact.
Yeah, mimic my favorite artists, like master their flows, why it sounds like that. And then from that time came, you know, incorporating my own lyrics. And it's like the flow sounds right, but the words don't fit. So now I got to play the blacksmith work. You know what I mean?
Facts.
Yeah.
I feel that. I think like it's so important finding artists that you could connect to on like a personal level. Like, because look, like I came up around the 50 Cent era, but I'm not like I want to read or something, but it's like so it's nice to see like for me it was Kanye, and you could be a nerd and you could like be like an artsy kid, a little awkward,
100%.
and kind of do it. So it's cool to see y'all reference figures that not only their lyricism but them as like people. What do you think you're modeling for people looking up at y'all? Because I feel like from Scarborough rapping well, a part of this like almost like resurgence of like the heart of hip hop. It's coming out of Toronto, I think. I feel like it hasn't really been like seen the way it needs to be yet.
100%.
Like, what do you think? Do you think you are presenting something for those coming up to look at? Do you think you're doing that right now?
100%. Like most definitely. Just the time and effort alone that gets put into the music we make, that in itself is an inspiration that I think everyone should and could look up to. Just being in the city, it's easy to get so overshadowed by like, you know, what's popular, like I said, and it's very easy to lose yourself in that. You know what I mean? Now you feel like, oh, I'm not being heard enough, so now I got to switch the style to this so I can attract the attention and then switch back later. But sometimes, or most of the time, there's no switching back. You know what I mean? You go into that, that's what you're known for. So I think for me, it's good to, I guess for me, what I'm trying to portray to the people is just be yourself. You know what I mean? And before that, just understand what being yourself means and who you are. So then you can portray that in all aspects of your craft and your art.
I feel that.
Ironically enough, be yourself. Self's telling you that. Ironically enough. Nah.
See, I'm true to the name.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, self told you to be yourself. That's pretty straightforward.
Yeah,
I think that's like solid. Yeah, that's like,
you know
that's
I mean?
pretty
like,
good.
Yeah, talk about it. But nah, I agree with him, man. Everything he said, I agree with him. I think just the goal is to consistently portray a level of authenticity and a level of humanity. I think that, you know, music has gotten into a huge place of caricatures and people just playing roles and concepts and ideas and making. No one's being themselves with the music that they're making, and it's damaging to me because you got people listening to it believing that's who you are, and then they want to be that when you know this is just an image or an idea or a character I'm just trying to put out there, or a persona I'm trying to put out there. This isn't who I am. And I think that I don't think it's a problem I don't think it's a problem that artists do it. I think it becomes a problem when every artist thinks that that's the norm, because not everyone could do that or should do that. And you know, it again, it draws away from the level of authenticity that artistry that comes with the artist, that comes with artistry, making music and telling your story. You know what I mean? This music is story. This story is a storytelling. You know what I mean? That's what we started with. So for us to not, for us to go stray so far away from storytelling these days, and we're just creating ideas and creating characters, like, nah, like our goal is to make sure we're telling our story, to make sure our story's being told. You know what I mean? From Toronto, Scarborough, like, you got to think about it. in this day and age, like we don't have any artists from here that are really being able to tell their story and market their story, push their story to a worldwide audience, you know? And I feel like there's, like you said, there's a lot of resurgence of that. And I think that us as artists, we're trying our best to make sure that we let the hip hop community know, the world know that we have a story to tell, you know what I mean? And we have things to say, you know what I mean? And that's what my goal is, you know what I mean? I want to be, you know, just, I want to be a help push the level of high level artistry and rapping and storytelling with Self, with my friends and other great artists from the city, to the highest level we possibly can, to the world level, so people understand when they think about hip hop, they think about this city, you know what I mean? Because we have the talent.
I feel that. And like really hearing your music separately, but also as Lower Self, it's just really good theory on like who you've been and what you want to do. It's just a really, really good theory.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
Talk about Lower Self. Like what is Lower Self and where is it going? Yeah.
I'll let you start this one.
Oh, the pressure. Man, what is Lower Self? Lower Self is just a concept that me and Self created, man. We were just in this crib and we were just we just be chilling, you know. Self produces, I produce all of our own work. So, you know, we're just going through the music, just bouncing ideas. And I've been saying like, we gotta work on the album. So, you know, we finally came up with the concept and it was Lower Self. It just worked seamlessly. And the concept is, in itself is just the act of indulging and embracing and acknowledging your lower self, like, and acknowledging the low points of yourself, you know what I mean? And acknowledging and embracing these things that we hide, that we're ashamed of, that we're scared of, that can make us vulnerable or make us feel weak because we have this negative mindset of, you know, acknowledging how we feel and in our emotions, especially men, especially black men, you know what I mean? So I think that the concept is just to speak on embracing that and, you know, yeah. What do you think? What else would you add to that?
No, that was pretty solid. The only other thing I would add is that, like, there's also, you know, those elusive moments where, like, you do things to make yourself feel powerful, you know? Whether it's, you know, drinking, smoking, partying, you know what I mean?
Okay.
And you feel like the guy.
Yeah.
But then as soon as you leave that atmosphere and you're back in your own space, it's like, wow, is this really me?
Yeah.
I'm back in the real.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's true.
And a lot of people don't embrace those things. They just chase that powerful feeling. So I feel like a lot of these records on Lower Self really embrace and embody that feeling. And if you haven't experienced that yet, because I know some people don't party, kind of crazy, but it is what it is.
Get outside.
There you go. But it allows you to experience it in your own way and envision it. I feel like we produced every record to the best of our ability, and, you know, we've obviously catered to the lyrics very masterfully. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for everyone to hear this.
Yeah.
Look, y'all just hit topics that I want to talk to you for the next half an hour for real. But I can't, we don't have the time for that. But like, y'all really, like, just like, Black manhood in itself is a whole hour.
100%.
And what you talked about, power, that's a whole hour.
Yeah, that was a bar.
Like, that's
he went in. I didn't expect that when he
like,
cooked
what?
He cooked that one.
That's
for
a
sure.
cooks. Yeah, put on the radio. You have to put double up, put some things behind it, some ad-libs behind that on the radio next week. But yeah, like, it's just really good stuff. And I'm excited for it. Yeah. And maybe before we talk about the performance that we're about to listen to, what's some music that we can expect from Lower Self soon?
Well, one of the second record we just performed, Celebrate, that is one record that, you know, we're both very proud of.
Yeah.
Definitely one of our favorites.
For sure.
Hopefully, we would like to drop that next month going into the new year, because, you know, it's a moment of celebration.
Right. And if we don't put it out next month, then it would probably be in January.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? I want to put it out. We want to put it out, you know, in the midst of the new year, because that record is just, like you said, is a record we're both proud of, is a record of just speaking on, embracing, acknowledging everything that you've been through and just actually celebrating it, acknowledging what you've been through. You know what I mean? Not just being like, oh, I've been through a lot, let me drink and get drunk. No, like, acknowledge these things, these troubles and these battles you've been facing. You've made it through another year. Celebrate and acknowledge what you've been able to do and be present in that moment. You know what I mean? And, you know, so we're going to try to get that out December, if not January. That's the next single. But our newest single, Can't Say, is going to be coming out November 15th on a Friday. And that record is just a fun record that, you know, speaking to the power, just the power of alcohol and vices and how you feel off of that. And, you know, just speaking of that feeling in that moment, and that's really, it's a turn up record, man. And hopefully people can, you know, have a good time and enjoy that record, but also, you know, acknowledge that feeling what Self was talking about in terms of like, yeah, like I feel powerful in this moment, but don't do these things to feel powerful, to feel great in the moment. You know what I mean? Try to make sure you try to do that 24/7. You know what I mean? Work on these little small things to be a better person and feel like you're a better person every day. You know what I mean? Don't feel great when you're drunk or when you're off of ice, you know?
Legit. Just one more time, what are these songs that we're about to hear just now?
The first song we have was Can't Say. Again, November 15th.
Can't say I ain't lit.
Can't Say I. The following song will be Celebrate. And right after that is...
the third song is called The Feel. It's off of my already out mixtape called Make That Ish Bang. Out with one of my favorite records on that EP called Start. And if you really want another record, just high energy, workout in the gym, blast Start. You know what I mean? And if you're from Scarborough, you need to listen to Start. You know what I mean? It's one of those records that if you're from the East End, you need to hear that record. And yeah.
Thank you very much for your time. Lowercase Self, Lower Self. We're about to hear y'all perform.
Yes, sir.
And yeah, that's it. BCT out on Live Off the Floor.
Yes, sir.
On Met Radio, 1280 AM. Fire.
Yeah, man. Shout out Met Radio, 1280 AM, man, for real.